Just before year end, the most sweeping overhaul of our tax system in 30 years was passed into law. The tax code is now even more complex. So making sense of the new tax law is going to be more important than ever. The place to start when sifting through this massive tax law is to distinguish between tax information and tax advice. There's no shortage of information. Every publication and media outlet with some tie to finances or politics has a story, if not many stories, about the law. What's harder to find and much more valuable is tax planning advice. Now, we can't guarantee much, but it's almost a sure thing that you're going to receive a mailer from one or several financial institutions offering information about these tax code changes. And the materials will imply that those institutions will be a good source of advice. Probably a brochure with a title like, "What Tax Reform Means to You." But just as likely in the fine print, there's going to be a disclaimer that says something like, "XYZ firm does not provide tax advice. See your tax advisor for details." Well, real tax advice, like what we provide to clients that retain us for such things, is very different from generic information. Some brochure that says, "If you're married, you may yada yada yada," is not advice. It's completely useless to a single taxpayer. Now, we know if our clients are married, so we focus in on the elements of the changes that are relevant to each client's unique circumstances when we're giving tax advice. Advice sounds more like, because you're married and you do such and such, you should do this. We don't just talk about taxes here. When we're engaged to give tax advice, we stand by our tax planning. Since tax advice is so important, we have 3 enrolled agents who are licensed by the Internal Revenue Service itself to represent taxpayers in matters before the agency. Now, don't get me wrong. Good information, it isn't enough, but it is still very important. And to that end, we run down some provisions of the tax code that are likely to apply to many of our clients in the post on our website titled, "Making Sense in the New Tax Law." We also highlight a radically different set of rules for clients that suffered damage from the hurricanes that hit the U.S. in the fall. They should allow a lot more people to be able to deduct repair expenses, so save your receipts. And as always, if you have any questions, please contact us. We would love to hear from you.